Okay, hello everybody. This is a quick presentation on our poster, Metabotype Discovery with Supervised Clustering. This is a joint work between the Grup de Recerca Statistics and Bioinformatics Research Group at the University of Barcelona and the Biomarkers and Exposome Nutrimetabolomics Research Group with whom we collaborate together. Okay, let me quickly introduce the problem of metabotyping. Metabotyping has attracted big interest in recent years, especially in the field of nutrition, because it is realized that uh, individuals have a high inter-individual variability that makes it often difficult to build biomarkers that allow, for instance, for personalized nutrition. However, uh, it has also been realized that if one can find groups of individuals with similar metabolic phenotypes, phenotypes that we usually call metabotypes, these metabotypes are more robust and are easier to be used to target personalized, for instance, interventions addressing health issues or whatever. So the problem with metabotyping is that metabotypes are often, as groups that they are, built by using unsupervised clustering. However, it is often the case that one discovers groups that are not related with what we are looking for. For instance, we may be interested in metabotypes related with obesity and find groups that are not directly related, unless, of course, all of our individuals belong to that category. That is, all of our individuals are obese or are in have cardiovascular risk or whatever. Uh, Given that problematic, we have realized that it might be worth a pity to investigate the possibility of building clustering and at the same time accounting for what we are looking for. For instance, if we want to build metabotypes for related to cardiovascular risk, having a categorical variable that describes, for instance, high versus low cardiovascular risk may be useful for this goal. Uh, After investigating a little bit, one can find that there is a type of clustering which is called supervised clustering that is precisely useful for this approach. Essentially, what supervised clustering does is that it includes in the objective function to be maximized, besides the idea, for instance, of optimizing the ratio between uh, within versus between groups, it adds the idea of the purity of the group. So, we want to build groups that optimize separation, but which are also the most pure possible with respect to a given variable. This image explains most of it. So, if we don't account, for instance, for the variable that distinguishes between black and white, we might have those groups, but when we consider these, the grouping may be different. In our case, if the idea would be if we, for instance, may account for for cardiovascular risk or for whatever other characteristic we're interested, we may obtain groups that are better suited for our goal. So, uh, what we have done is that we have implemented some of the existing algorithms in an R package, which is available in GitHub, and we have applied the method to two public datasets. The results are not spectacular in the sense that they give groups where unsupervised clustering could not find them, but they are better in the sense of assigning individuals to uh, more homogeneous groups with respect to the categorical variable. One might say, of course, because you have forced the purity to intervene in the construction of the groups, but essentially, uh, it's not that we have forced the belonging of an individual to a group, but only try to have those groups purer with respect to this variable. So the conclusion that we reach after the first investigations is that in certain cases, supervised clustering may be useful when we are not being able to discover groups, or when, for instance, we do not have a homogeneous population, all, for instance, with cardiovascular risk or with a certain disease, where we want to build these phenotypes. This is our a few references and the support that we have received from the Spanish ministry that, of course, we have to acknowledge and thankful.